All right, Mark Ferrasci, Quartet Dog Training, and Diana number 2 for this morning. I went and got the toy because that's what I want to make sure I imprint her on this toy. She's doing really good with understanding where the food's coming from, and she's got a nice drive for these hot dogs. Not the same as Lucifer. Lucifer's decided he doesn't like hot dogs for whatever reason. Good dog, good. Yep. Huh? So we're gonna have to switch up on his food source, go through figuring out what he likes and what he doesn't like. With Lucifer, a little bit more finicky. Every dog's different, remember? We have little challenges that we might have in different areas. Good girl, good. Good girl. Good girl. All right, so I've got a friend that I let have one of these dogs so he could play with it and figure out where his drives were at and all that. He's a dog person, been around for a lot of years, but he's affected by the community as a whole and what he's learned over the years, and he does what a lot of trainers would do. They get stuck on this, and they get stuck on the fact that they want a dog that's going to do protection. He wants to go out and do ring sport, something like that with this dog, and play with him long enough, and he might end up developing him like I'm doing and flipping the dog, who knows. But bottom line is, right away, I took the dog down to him and met him at a Chevron station on the back of the parking lot, and took the dog out, and the first thing he did is grab the sack. And he wants the dog going after this sack. Dog doesn't know where it's at. It's a little small 10-week-old puppy, and he's judging this animal by what he wants to see and his criteria in his head of a dog being a monster, right? Right away having the drive to go after a sack and just with no effect at all. And right away it irritates me because there's a big, I wouldn't say it's a problem. I would say that it's a reoccurring type of things with other people that are in the hobby or in the trade of dog training, where they go out and they want to test a dog, and if the dog doesn't show it to them, they just move on. Or they take a dog in and they work it, and the dog doesn't meet their criteria, whatever that is in their mind, and they wash the dog out. And they go get another dog and they wash the dog out. And they're looking for that perfect unicorn that's going to fulfill their needs for the dog working for them. Every dog is different, and it irritates me because a good trainer, is going to be good girl, good. It's going to be like me, and not that I'm a good trainer, but just in general as far as my mental outlook on how I view things, okay? It's my job as a trainer to get the dog to display these things. And yes, I want the genetics. The dog should have it. But at the same time, I'm not going to be, that criteria is not that way with me. The criteria is more on me, okay, not on the dog. In other words, if I'm a good trainer, I'm going to bring this out in the dog. These dogs, this Dutch Shepherd right here, has it in him, okay? Your job as a trainer is to pop that top and get that thing to bubble out and to come out and to direct it and to get it to manifest. It's there, believe me. These guys are all that and then some as far as genetics. Can you have good? Can you have bad? Sure. If I have a litter, American breeds more so than anything, but if I have a litter of puppies, I might have some that are weak, some that are mid-range, and maybe a couple of them that are really strong in a litter, right? And we want to test the puppies for that. It's important. These guys were hard for me because their drives were so intense that when I went over there to the pack, all these puppies all together, they were just, and so they weren't giving me hardly anything. But they got it all in them. You see them chasing after this. It's all there, okay? He was all concerned with where the dog was biting, and he wants the dog biting back here in the molars. That comes from Schutzen, okay? So that community dictates that's what they want to see. So if somebody will come out and they've got this overriding criteria in their mind, and they're going to test the dog for it, and if they don't see it and the dog's biting shallow, they're going to say the dog's no good, and they're going to go on to the next dog. Is that right or wrong? Well, it's not wrong. Their criteria is going to serve them, and they're going to go through look at a heck of a lot of dogs till they find that perfect unicorn, right? A good trainer is somebody that can understand that concepts and understand how to bring it out and to acquire it, right? Because you have done that. You saw my little sack play. When I do my little sack play, I take the sack and I pop it into the back of the dog's mouth when they're this young. Okay, and then that way I can set that hook, so to speak, and get the dog to bite back here. And right away I mark that behavior with the dog underneath the neck, and marking the behavior at the right timing for my play and prey, meaning that the prey is alive. They want the fight, right? The prey is alive when they're doing the right thing, and as soon as they're not biting the right way, I'll die. And then all the fun goes out of the game, and I'm dead prey until I get the dog to re-bite, and I'll put the sack at a certain angle, and you saw me do that before. The last day or two ago I did a video on this, and the dog will dig in deeper and take a better bite. Right when he does, I give him the right stimulation and I mark that, okay? And if I do it right, I can create this that may not have been there, right? Now, yes, do we want it? We want the perfect unicorn. There's no two ways about that. We do want the perfect unicorn, but that's what testing is all about. What you barking at? You hear that car going by? That was a trailer. That was a trailer with a lot of noise. You ready? Get it. Nope, she didn't see it. Good girl, yeah. Come on. Good girl, good. So we want the perfect unicorn. There's no two ways about that. That's what testing is all about. We're looking for that deep mouth bite. We're looking for certain things and characteristics and breed type that should be there, right? So I don't begrudge him in that regards, but again, if you're good at what you're doing and you're a good trainer, you're gonna get this stuff to come out. It's there, believe me. You just gotta understand how to bring it out in the animal. And if you're good enough, you'll do that, right? Some trainers aren't good enough. Okay, so just my personal opinion, and they're out there, these people that will go after the perfect unicorn, and they wash dogs, this dog, then another dog, until they get to about the fourth dog, and they're finally happy, right? It irritates me, and I guess it might come from my experience when I first started a training kennel up in the Bay Area. I was assigned a dog, and then another dog, and these were all pet quality dogs, and I always try to make the dog as strong as I possibly could. Not all of them are going to go to protection. Some of them are just pet quality dogs. But you learn how to deal with what you've got and bring the best out in the animal and work on the things that the animal has problems with, right? That's your job. And you get handed all kinds of mental train wrecks, okay? Because people with their behavior create this in the animals, right? Our job is to overshadow that and to recondition, counter-condition the dog, and get the dog away from the problems that he's got, and then make the dog the strongest animal we possibly can, and do our job as a trainer to fulfill a service for our customers, right? So it just irritates me when I hear this, and it mainly comes from the sport crowd, people that want to go out and get those high points, and they hit a certain maturity within their experience as they're learning and growing as to be a dog trainer, and you never stop learning and growing, guys. I'm still learning and growing. I've been doing this for 40 years, okay? So bottom line is that they'll hit a certain stage and they're looking for this criteria because they get affected by what's going on around them in the community, other people that are in the field and doing the dog sports and all that, and so they start looking for that perfect unicorn, and hopefully they'll grow through that and they'll stop doing that. And it's not to say that if you see a dog that's totally weak that you're going to pass him over, sure. But remember that it's more your job to be good enough to be able to compensate for this and do the right. You ready? Ready. Get it. Good girl. I like her. She's got all kinds of drive. Now this is kind of the perfect unicorn. But not all dogs are going to be the perfect unicorn, and you owe it a little bit to yourself to be able to get better skill, have more skill, to go through trying to develop that in a dog. And if it doesn't work out, then yeah, maybe wash the dog out. But I would, again, like I told this friend of mine yesterday through a text, and he got a little irritated at me, reality and truth. I put the onus on me. How good am I to bring what I need out in that animal? And I'm going to do that first before I judge the animal. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, my skill is what really makes the difference. Do I have the skill to create a deep mouth bite if the dog doesn't have it? Can I compensate and get the dog to increase the quality of his weak spots and make them stronger, and the strong spots even more stronger, right? That's my job as a trainer, right? So that's my personal opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So I thank you very much. You guys have a good day. Mark Ferrasci with Diana. Oh, good girl. That's what I wanted. She did great. All right, talk to you guys later.